Hey, hey, Cancer. Mel, Intuitive Soul Coach here. Excited to bring in your January 2026 monthly reading. All right, let's open up your energy field and take a look at what the month ahead has in store for you. Cancer. Now, I am being shown a squirrel that is running around a bird feeder and gathering the seeds, gathering the nuts. So unless some of you have a very obnoxious squirrel in your bird feeder, literally, I feel like this is symbolic for perhaps a busyness, a lot of productivity, or you could be planning, preparing, or getting ready to make a move. I am also seeing the Two of Wands in my mind's eye, so it does feel like there is a choice point. Perhaps you are opening yourself up to a new opportunity, a new perspective, a new mindset, and you are taking a look at your resources because the squirrel is gathering nuts and seeds. So you could be looking at your finances, your abundance, your career, and even looking at how you move your body, exercise, and sleep cycles, because I do see that some of you may have a bit of a squirrely mind or energy where it's difficult to shut down the mind or to maybe not shut it down because the mind is always running in the background, but in order to find a bit of peace and calm so you're not constantly worried about a situation. I see you organizing, compartmentalizing, and preparing yourself for a really beautiful year ahead, Cancer. I'm also hearing the name Ruth or Ruthie. This could be your name, someone you are connected to, or even someone that you may meet in the coming year, coming weeks. So one of your key themes for the month ahead includes adventure. Exciting times ahead. Cancer, many of you are saying yes to 2026, meaning you are welcoming it with open arms. Oftentimes, this tells me that perhaps 2025 was a bit of a difficult year or you've had to overcome some challenges. But I do see that there again is a new opportunity and there's a spiritual quest. Like the Eight of Cups oftentimes requires leaving behind an old version of oneself or even an old lifestyle, old habits or patterns that you've outgrown in order to move into something that feels more aligned or there's more depth or more meaning. And it feels like you may be leaving behind something in order to spread your wings in a new area of your life. Some of you more than one area. Now we also have world travel. So you could even be traveling and maybe that's what you are preparing for. There could be like packing of bags or suitcases, getting ready to maybe sell a home or buy a home. I also see here that you are putting yourself out into the world in some way. This could be your own goods, products, or services. So it does feel very expansive, kicking off the new year for you. Now you also have the law of attraction. What you focus on grows. Now mindset is so important. We can view the world through the lens of opportunity, right? Adventure, growth, expansion, or we can view the world through the lens of scarcity and limitation and fear. And it's up to you, right? There's no right or wrong. I feel like you are realizing that your beliefs create your reality. And even the subconscious stories that are running in the background, you are becoming more aware of. So you may even be a psychologist. Some of you may be studying the inner mechanisms or workings of the mind, or you've even been working with a coach or a mentor or even a therapist to reprogram those old outdated stories. And I see that you are excited about moving into 2026 and you're saying, yes, what do you have to offer, life? Like I'm all in, I'm in it. This is a highly magnetic energy. It reminds me of the Queen of Wands, where you may be going through a bit of a glow up internally, but I also see that externally in the first few months of 2026, your energy is expanding from within you and putting it out into the world. So you could be getting a lot of attention in your work, or getting a lot of attention when it comes to perhaps relationships or love interest if you are looking for that. This is also about vision boards and your third eye chakra, which includes your vision for your own future, but also it's what you see right in front of you, right in this moment. You are saying to yourself, I have the ability to see through illusions, and I have the ability to live and lead my most abundant life. So it's not that you are wading through life with toxic positivity. We're not in avoidance here. We are moving into a state that feels peaceful, that feels more calm, but also that feels expansive. And that's what I see here with the law of attraction. And whenever this card shows up, I always ask Spirit to show me a section of a vision board, as it says, because some of you could be creating vision boards or you have just made one. And I am seeing here the very center of the board. If you have a vision board, go look at it, Cancer, because it feels like the very centerfold energy is something that may manifest for you quickly or sooner than maybe the other areas of your board. So I'd love to hear it. Drop it in the comment section below. If you have a vision board, look at the very middle section of it and let me know what it says or what visuals or images. Now, it feels like you're focusing on that specifically, and that's your mindset, and it means that the choices that you make are backing up that mindset of yours. So stay positive here and open yourself to opportunity. Now you also have self-love. Beautiful. Self-love has to do with compassion. It has to do with forgiveness, understanding. It has to do with saying yes to living your best life and not letting the old stories drown you, not letting old preconceived notions or limitations or beliefs hold you back from living and loving your best life. And you are moving into an era where you feel more confident, where you feel like you are able to go within and trust the intuitive wisdom that is being offered. And I see for many of you, if you have struggled, because we do have conflict at the bottom of the deck, which can be a back and forth. Maybe this is struggling with a thought, a repetitive loop that's been playing out. It could even be with a person, some sort of challenge or struggle in your life. Maybe this is eating for you. It could be a back and forth battle with a parent or with a child or with a spouse or your finances. I see that you are opening yourself up and saying, how can I work with this energy instead of wishing that it just goes away? Because that can be avoidance as well. And you're taking accountability and you're saying, what do I need to do in this moment that is going to benefit me, not just now? There could be a tad bit of sacrifice, but long term as well. But I see that you don't have to suffer. The sacrifice, like on the Hanged Man energy, it represents seeing things from a higher perspective. And because we have conflict here, this tells me that you're finding solutions because you have a very brilliant mind. And I do see that there have been opposing views. There have been triggers. There's been adversity and maybe a bit of competition when it comes to reaching a goal or staying consistent with an intention that you've had. But I do see here for you, Cancer, that through this self-love, through the lens of self-love, which is acceptance, accepting that there are things outside of your control that you will not be able to fix, change, or alter. But that's okay because that's not our job. That's not our responsibility to fix, change, or alter someone else's story. That's on them. And it feels like you are now looking at what is within your own control, how you respond, how you think about a situation, how you feel about it, and the action that you take. So let's look at what is going on here for you. Bottom of the deck, there's the Ace of Pentacles, beautiful new opportunity where you are materializing some form of success. The Ace of Pentacles is potential, but it tells me that you have already planted the seed and now you get to watch it blossom. Now you get to watch it grow. And I do see here with the Eight of Wands, you have Eight of Wands, Knight of Wands, and the Ten of Cups. This is a powerful trio here where the Eight of Wands is quick communication. So it almost feels like you are receiving instant downloads of intuitive wisdom. That crown chakra is wide open for you. And I feel like you have this newfound stamina, this new mindset that says, all right, yes, I am moving forward. I am going for it. There's a new opportunity ahead. In no way am I going to be benched. Right? You're not going to put yourself in time out. And sometimes we have these self-sabotaging patterns or behaviors because sometimes the body and even the mind try to protect us from pain, protect us from getting hurt, especially if you've gone through a situation in the past where you have been hurt. And I see that you are shifting or altering that belief, that story, and you are seeing magic happen quite literally right in front of your eyes. So the Eight of Wands is setting an intention and seeing it through. It is directing your focus and staying consistent with that focus. And if you do find yourself falling back into old habits or old stories, you are now consciously aware. And I feel like you have the ability to snap out of it quickly or to start rewiring in that moment. And that then becomes your new pattern, your new default, instead of defaulting back into old limitations or old patterns that don't serve you. So there could be some important communication coming through via email. This could be a text. This could be a phone call. So do expect some sort of communicable exchange to occur. And I feel like it's actually bringing some really good energy to the mix because again, you're expecting it, you're looking for it, you're open to it, and therefore you're going to attract it. You have the Knight of Wands showing up here. Knight of Wands is action. It's go time. This is a quick, fast-moving energy partnered with that Eight of Wands. Again, it feels like you are all in. Something could happen quite quickly when it comes to real estate or when it comes to travel or even relocating or taking a career to the next level. Now, we have the Ten of Cups, which does speak of family dynamics. So this could affect your entire family. But I also see that this is adventure. So there could even be an unexpected or a surprise visit to a family or from a family member. Someone could be staying with you or you could be staying with them. And I see that your adventurous side is saying, I want to travel, or I want to expand my business, or I want to take my career to the next level. What source of education or new skill sets can I add to the mix? So it just feels like a really fun vibration and energy to be in. Now, it doesn't mean that you are being naive, right, with that Fool energy, but it does feel like you're open to an exchange that feels in alignment with your own spiritual truths, but also with something you've been wanting to bring about in the material world. The Ten of Cups is the ultimate blessing. The Ten of Cups is family. It is kindred spirits. It's your soul tribe. It's also a love for what you do. It could be a community of like-minded individuals where not only are you feeling emotionally fulfilled, but there's this satisfaction in the material world. I see that here for you as well with the Ace of Pentacles. I'm hearing the name Kay. Kay could be someone's name, someone's nickname, or maybe Kay is the name of someone that is listening here. But the Ace of Pentacles is really manifesting that new beginning in the physical realm. So a lot of really juicy things taking place for you this month, Cancer. And it really does start with that mindset and that self-love piece, because you are not going to settle for less than you deserve. That's what self-love is. Someone asked me the other day, Mel, what does it mean to be in this energy? It means that we are not going to abandon ourselves. We are not going to settle for less than we deserve, right? We are going to take care of our bodies, take care of our minds, take care of our loved ones, and be able to fill our own cup so we have plenty to share with others. because some of you may have felt depleted because of whatever this tug of war was or is that is currently going on in your life or playing in the background. You're catching it. I feel like you're recognizing it and you're executing a new plan and you're living life in a happier way with that 10 of Cups. And you could even be making space for new family or new partnerships to enter your world. All right, let's look at career, finances, money, and abundance. We have the underworld. Some of you may have been dealing with people around you who were very unethical or they were shady in some way with that conflict here. Maybe someone had some opposing views and it was pushing against your own integrity or your own values, and you're like, hey, that's not what I stand for. That's not what I want to represent here within this company. Or you may have witnessed this in your field in some way. Or there may have even been news of someone that it just feels like they were fake or someone was caught. I'm getting like a caught energy, or their actions may have been exposed in some way. It's like they can no longer hide some malicious intention. Now, for others of you, I feel like you are finding unconventional ways to bring in new money. And some people may think it's taboo, right? Grandma and grandpa may think it's crazy for you to make money online, right? It could be that society has told you that you can't make money doing your artistry or your jewelry making or your bath bombs, whatever it is. Whatever you are curious about, whatever your business is or your ideas are, this is coming from an intentional space. It's coming from channeled energy, meaning if it's on your mind, if it's something that you've been wanting to do or wanting to learn or wanting to put out in the world, this is coming from you. It doesn't matter what society or what grandma, grandpa, or anybody thinks is going to be best, because you are finding unconventional ways to bring in or generate wealth or income. And this is part of your story. It's part of your purpose. And I see that you have some hidden knowledge here. And many of you may have the ability to channel. I am getting a channeler energy, a medium. Some of you have the ability to work with spirit animals or connect to animals. You may have a strong vibe, a strong connection with them, but other people may not understand, and that's okay. And some of you may have grandma or grandpa that are cheering you on from the other side, even if their beliefs were different on this human plane. We tend to shed those, I don't want to say limitations, because again, there's no right or wrong per se, but we have a higher awareness or understanding of what conditioning we have been through on this earthly plane. So when we go home, as I call it, or when we cross over or go to the other side, those layers peel back and we're able to not allow judgments or beliefs to affect or alter relationships. I hope that makes sense. Now, underworld also speaks of you probing into the mysteries of life. I feel like you're using your spiritual tools. Some of you, this is tarot, and not everybody agrees with tarot. People may think it's dark or it's not healthy or not good, but this again is your path, your journey. So whatever it is that you are wanting to do, I feel like you're addressing any subconscious beliefs or societal conditioning that may have been a bit of a block, that may have been a bit of adversity here. And you're saying, wait a second, if I really want this, I'm going to focus on it. And it's something I love, and I'm going to accept that this is part of my calling, and I'm all in, and I'm going to expand, and this is going to be the best thing ever for me, and people will love it because the right crowd you will be attracted to, the right clientele, the right business, the right company. And I see that you are also earning money, okay? There is a means to earning money. And because I'm getting here a little bit of the occult or the underworld, I mean, this could certainly be connected to something more taboo, such as tarot or astrology, human design. It could even be Reiki, energy work, something that people don't understand if they can't scientifically prove it. It feels like that's connected to that energy here as well. Now you also have Buddha, Cancer. Buddha is all about life purpose. Buddha represents spiritual wealth, and that's what this 10 of Cups is all about. Spiritual wealth. And you see that there's a beautiful rainbow in the background. You have the little boy here with the ball. You have the girl. You have the family. And it feels like there is this element of helping others around you, but also being able to strive within your own company. So what that means is whether you are alone at this time, you're not really alone. You're saying, I got my people, I got my community, I have a support system, I'm making space for this, I'm meeting strangers around the world, or I'm connecting to brilliant, beautiful people, and I'm not going to limit myself regardless of where I am at currently. And I feel like that is spiritual wealth. And many of you are counselors. You are being guided towards a divine path at this time. And that could be that 2 of Wands that I was sensing. Now, of course, we have the 8 of Wands and the Knight of Wands here, but it feels like you're taking action, meaning your path is becoming clear. You know what your path is, and you're trusting that it's unfolding beautifully for you. Even if you don't know necessarily every single step, you're trusting that by taking a step towards it, that new steps will then show up for you. You don't have to see the entire staircase to step forward. You have the light bulb. The light bulb represents ideas. I'm getting a bit of an Einstein energy, and I think I mentioned earlier, Cancer, that you are someone who is quite brilliant. So you have new ideas here, new income sources. You're feeling inspired. Many of you are feeling inspired by travel. It doesn't mean that you're traveling by plane. You could be traveling to a different area or location of your city or of your county or your state, or even within your own home. Maybe you're spending time in an area of your home that you normally don't spend a lot of time in. You could even be visiting new restaurants, new cafes, new bookstores that inspire you. And I also see that you're adding that splash of pizzazz or creativity. It's like you're bringing that back into your work. And there could even be a new job offer here for those of you that are looking for new employment. There could be that message, 8 of Wands. So again, communication coming in, and it almost feels like it could be quite quick. So typically, the interview process could take a little bit of time, but they may be urgent to hire someone, or you may even have clientele that want to work with you immediately. It feels like there's a little bit of like putting a rush on something, but of course, make sure that it is in alignment with your timeline as well, which I feel like it is, especially with that 10 of Cups. But I see that you are saying to yourself and to others, yes, let's do this, because it feels like you are not alone. You are connecting to either a community or a tribe. I also see marketing here for you, and maybe even having a little bit of fun with a logo or with a creative idea that you have. And some of you could be using Canva, or you're using any other platform where you can expand your color palette. Maybe you're adding color also to the mix, or you may be creating like PDFs, or maybe you are creating an oracle or a tarot deck. This could even be an ebook, but it feels like you are inspired, and something that may have taken you 6 months to complete in the past, or maybe not complete, but maybe move forward in. So for example, it had taken 6 months for you to write a chapter of a book, where it may take you 6 days to write 4 chapters. It feels like there's a lot of momentum building, and you have this motivation, and you're saying, Mel, it's here. I want to take advantage of it. And you certainly are. So let's look at love, partnerships, family, and relationships. We see that The most important relationship, of course, is the one that you have with who? Cancer? You, right? We have self-love here. So I see that you are taking action steps to show yourself that you do love you and that you're falling in love with your life and that you are proud of yourself and you feel beautiful and you feel intelligent and smart and you have what it takes to succeed. It's about you believing in yourself, and you are also recognizing that other people around you believe in you as well. You have love. This is a beautiful card. It is unconditional love. As it says, self-love and wholeness. There is a completion here with that 10 of Cups where you do feel whole. This is affection and attraction, and it's selflessness, not selfish, right? Self-love isn't selfish. And sometimes people get that tangled up, feeling like they have to put everybody else's needs ahead of their own. And you can take care of yourself and take care of others as well. You also have here key on a ring. There's some more options. So that 2 of Wands that I was picking up on, there could be a new love interest for some of you. This could be an unconventional, which we have that word showing up twice. It could be an unconventional relationship where society says we have to fall in love, get married, buy a home together, have children, have the white picket fence. That's a traditional way of seeing relationships. Nothing wrong with it, right? Not good nor bad. But some of you, there could be a different type of connection. Perhaps marriage is just a piece of paper to some of you. And you're saying, I don't need that paper to be with this partner. Or some of you, this could even be a same-sex relationship, or it could be a different dynamic, maybe open relationships, whatever it may mean for you. It doesn't mean that you're not having that traditional, because we have the 10 of Cups here. But I also see that you're getting clear about what love means for you and what conditions perhaps have been put around love or the belief around it. And you are shifting that mindset in a way where you're able to attract what you believe, whatever that may be for you. And I see that you don't want to be strung along. You don't want to string anyone else along. And it feels like there may be honest conversations coming through with that 8 of Wands. Let's get one more here. We have the Runner. So you or someone around you may have had a fear of intimacy, Cancer. This could be running away where someone wasn't dealing with an issue. There may have even been some sort of avoidance, and it may have caused intense emotions or an intense ending even. And I see that you have perhaps accepted or have even let go of a belief around this mindset, this mentality that maybe everybody is going to abandon me, or I'm going to be alone forever, or whatever beliefs that kind of limit one. I see that you are shifting the script here, and that's why your first card out is unconditional love and self-love, because you've done a lot of inner work, especially around this heart center and relationships, Cancer. All right, let's look here at the archetype that is playing out for you this month. What do we have here for Cancer? You have the Ring. All right, I'm going to find the ring in the guidebook for you. One moment. All right, Cancer, the ring has to do with the infinite, the wheel, the connection. The ring is an image of connectedness. Rather than viewing life as linear, as a series of progressive achievements, the ring challenges us to sense the cyclical, infinite nature of our world and experiences. Beginnings and endings fall by the wayside as we practice seeing ourselves as part of the cosmic circularity of creation. For this reason, it's no surprise a ring is worn on the finger to represent eternal love that surpasses space, time, and worldly things. So much can be projected onto this archetypal image. Because it mimics the Earth's orbit around our great sun and the intimate bond between two lovers, it is the micro and macro united. This card calls us to deepen connection with self. with other and the world at large. Meanwhile, there may be a literal ring waiting to adorn your finger. Okay, surprise here. And wait a second, you have the key on a ring as well. You're unlocking here a portal of love. This is quite spectacular. And yes, it certainly could be showing up in relationships for you, Cancer, but I also see that it is connected to something earthly. It could be helping you health-wise, something around the heart. Maybe there has been a heart chakra issue. Perhaps some of you have had something with the breast region as well that has impacted you in some way. When this is showing up as the light, I also heard forgiveness, and that's connected to that heart chakra. So for those of you that like crystals, rose quartz, the mother of all, is a really wonderful conduit for working with that heart center. So when this is showing up as the light aspect, which we have the light bulb, right? So this is clicking on. This is connectedness, humility, and sacred cycles. When this is showing up as the shadow, which for some of you, that was connected to the conflict. This is repetition, starving for connection, which I find is a big energy in this earthly world. Many people are starving for connection, especially in a world where technology, yes, that connection is at our fingertips, but it's not the type of connection that truly satiates our hunger. This is unconscious repetition. So we talked about that unconscious and even subconscious patterns playing out where you're becoming more aware so you can interrupt those patterns. It says here, take stock of the jewels you adorn yourself with. Watch out for rings you wear out of habit that keep you connected to the old you. How many times do we hang on to an old piece of jewelry or something that connects us to an individual, and this could even be something ancestral that you own or that you wear, excuse me. And if you want to go deeper in this, study the images of the mandala, the unus mundus, the Ouroboros, and the medicine wheel. So it does remind me of the Wheel of Fortune as well, where many of you are being asked, that could be that Two of Wands, to step out of patterns in some way, or to observe and to notice if you are in the same frequency, you're going to get the same type of results. And if you want to have those same type of results, that's okay, right? By all means, right? There's no right or wrong. But if you want something more expansive, if you want something deeper, many of you may be shifting again that mindset and viewing your reality through the lens of self-love. And this is a game changer because then you attract that which you are. You attract and you start to see the world through the lens of love. You know, your belief, if all people are innately good, or are they all going to lie or hurt you or deceive you? And taking a look at some of these outdated patterns, right? The things that repeat in generations, in family dynamics. Perhaps you have broken out of some generational, I don't like the word curse. I never say that word, but I am getting that here. So sometimes it does feel like a generational curse, or it feels like something that's been heavy or sticky. But I also see that many of you come from a bloodline of very spiritual or psychic divine feminines. Perhaps your mother or your grandmother, even if you're not aware of this, it feels like you have connections to tap into this wisdom. And even if they've chose not to use that power to do whatever with it, right? You have the ability to do something with your own magic, your own power. And I feel like you are. I feel like you are making a difference. You're making a change. So Cancer, that is what I have for you, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for being here today. If you did enjoy the message, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. And if you are interested in a personal reading, or signing up for the monthly newsletter or the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com.